Have we got some fun episodes for you down at Gravelwood Cars? Whilst we have been spending some time up at Redline Specialist Cars with Magnitude Finance have come to Gravelwood Cars because, of course, if I know Magnitude Finance, Tony knows Magnitude Finance, and in front of us we have got 4 stunning cars that are going to be going head to head, and we're going to be getting Tony and Tim on camera as we pit the Golf R, famous for being a perfect daily driver, against the Audi RS3. We've done the RS3 Saloon, but this is a much cheaper example. We've also got a BMW M2 and an old C63 with the 6.2 litre V8. What I learned up at Redline is the cars above 40 grand or even above £35,000 might be a little bit too expensive on the monthly payments to sit alongside the Lamborghini. So we're going to be starting this episode with the Golf R, arguably one of the best hot hatches, versus the Audi RS3. Now, we did a brand new RS3 Saloon up at Redline. This is a £31,000 car, 2016, but still has that awesome sounding engine. But that car is 25 grand. I think let's jump in that car, warm it up, get Tony on camera. I've actually bought some of his time today because he's such a busy man. I've actually had to pay him £5 and lunch to come into the videos with me. So let's get in the Golf R and head out and get cracking on this episode. Do you know this is the first time I've ever driven a Golf R?
Seriously?
Yeah.
Well, it doesn't drift.
Oh, that's a shame. 4-wheel drive, pretty cool powertrain. I see them all the time. They squat so nice, and from an exterior, they've got road presence. For the price.
Yeah, at a price point, this is the best hot hatch you can buy.
25 grand. So do you think this is better than the Focus RS?
Yes, 100%.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's
As an everyday hot hatch,
yeah,
this would be perfect for you to buzz around in.
Inside, we've got these like additional carbon fiber paddles.
Yeah, the previous owner put them on.
Yeah, which I actually think they're quite cool, because one of the downsides to the VW group is their parts bin are used across so many different cars that these paddles are probably the same as like an Audi A1 or something.
Same as a Porsche.
Same as a Porsche.
Yeah. Just not a Lambo.
Just not a Lambo. But the R8 RWS that I had the same paddles as an Audi A3. I just didn't really like that. Whereas this, like now, you feel a little bit special because you're just holding these Ferrari-style carbon fiber paddles. We're going to go back and literally do back-to-back this versus Audi RS3.
Okay. Which I think is in a different bracket.
Slightly, 6 grand more, but it's not about the actual price that you see on the website. We're going to be touching base with Tim Marlowe from Magnitude Finance.
Oh, really?
And it's I know he takes, well, he doesn't actually take our money, he actually saves us money.
Really?
Yeah, he does.
No, he does, yeah. He's a good lad.
Yeah.
Yeah, he is.
Do you think there is going to be much of a monthly price difference between the Golf R and the RS3? First question I'm going to ask. You do?
Yes.
Do you think that would sway someone like me that is looking for a new daily, something a little bit fun? Do you think that will sway me? Do you think this is going to be much considerably cheaper, but the car doesn't justify the difference in price? Do you think this is as good as the RS3?
It's definitely better value.
Okay.
I don't think it's as good, but it's definitely better value.
Boom, straight into the RS3. Just gonna. This is how much straight we're going into it. We're all moving the seats around.
We literally just jumped in.
Interestingly though, both cars manual seat controls.
Yeah.
In comparison to some of the newer variants to these, they're probably all auto, or maybe it's just an optional extra.
No, it's an optional extra, and on a hot hatch you don't really need it.
Nah.
Don't really need to
get that feel of just being a normal car with a big engine and cool performance. So to me, the RS3 is kind of like the go-to hot hatch.
Yeah. I
would probably buy one of these over an A45.
Me too.
And at 31 grand, it's not bad, because to begin with, do you remember when these came out? So these were like the revolutionary RS3 in comparison to the old ones, like the 03s.
Yep.
They stopped making them for a while, brought them back, and then when these came out, it was like the sound was so good. Quattro system.
my favourite. If I could pick any hot hatch, this is what I'd have one of these.
Yeah?
100%. Yeah. It's a step up for the Golf R, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah.
In performance, sound, and like the fun factor.
Yeah.
The fun factor. Now, what I've actually noticed, jumping back into one of these cars, is it has got the virtual cockpit.
No, so this is the pre-facelift car.
Yeah.
So good,
instantly, I feel like the £6,000 difference in the bulk price is justified just on that sound alone.
Yeah. If you bought age for age, so if you bought like a 17 or a 67 RS3, it would be loads more than the Golf, mate. It'd still be 40 grand.
Yeah.
It'd be 15 grand more.
Yeah.
There's a huge difference between the cars.
Yeah. Do you think being the Golf R is a more sensible and cheaper car? Does that make more sense because it's sitting alongside something so ridiculous and so expensive to run?
Yeah, so as I said, I think for price point and value for money, the Golf R is the best hot hatch you can buy.
Okay.
The best hot hatch you can buy is the RS3.
Yeah.
But if you consider everything, price and everything, the Golf R is the best.
Okay.
Yeah.
Tim Marlowe is here at Gravelwood Cars.
It doesn't come here very often.
Well, it's quite far.
What, isn't it Tesla?
Here we go again. Here we go again. Yeah.
How long did it take?
6 hours.
Everyone, Tim Marlowe.
Two good half-an-hour stops to recharge the battery and check emails.
Road safety.
Have a coffee. I feel nice and refreshed.
Yeah. You look refreshed with that Christmas jumper.
Do you like it? Always for you, Tony.
It's got Porsche on it. Lovely.
There you go.
10% deposit.
10% deposit, 6.9 is the APR, fixed rate regulated deal.
Yeah.
Gives you the flexibility, you can come out when you want to do without any daft penalties.
Yeah.
Both of these under £400 a month.
Which ones?
What I'm talking about. Where have you been after that?
What, the Golf R and the RS3?
Yes.
They're both very similar in terms of monthly payments?
Monthly payments, within 20 quid of each other.
Oh wow.
Golf R's cheaper.
By £20?
By £20.
So it's not actually that much
I told
better
you
value.
Yeah, I told you the Golf would be cheaper and they put them one bit like
£377 a month for the Golf, £397 for the RS3.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, £400 for the RS3. It's a year older, done 40,000 miles, whereas the Golf R was half that mileage and a year newer. I think now let's go and I really want to do the M2 versus C63. Now we move on to what I think are the tastiest cars in the Gravelwood fleet that hopefully, fingers crossed, with the help of Magnitude Finance, will fit my budget. We've got a BMW M2, which is around £34,000. And then we've got a C63, but this is the 6.2 V8. Now, the last daily I had was the 4-litre bi-turbo C63. I loved it, I tuned it, kind of made it undrivable, but it was fun, it was loud, it looked amazing. This has actually got a carbon kit already added to the car. That is a very, very stock BMW M2, but they are two fantastic cars from two very different eras. So we're going to be driving the BMW M2 first to get to grips with what we are currently dealing with on today's market. Completely discrediting the BMW M2 competition because that is way out of my league. But then we're going to go back to old school, a big 6.2 thirsty V8. Now, whilst this probably isn't the ideal daily, I haven't actually driven one of these since my first supercar. And even then, I didn't drive it, I was a passenger. So have I actually driven a 6.2 litre V8 C63? Tony, have you got the keys to the M2? Oh yes, here we go, BMW M2. I'm excited about this one. You love them. But you like M2 competitions more?
Yeah, they're just better.
Because they're newer. But this is in my price bracket. Let's see what Magnitude Finance come up with on monthly payments on this. But first, let's drive it. Listen to the cold start. Now, we're starting off with this car because I want to really show the comparison between this being representing new, sort of new fun cars versus old fun cars. I love the sound of this.
This sound cool.
They are so cool, so fun. BMW make great driving cars.
exactly what
they don't focus on the interior. The interior is pretty much exactly the same as it was. If you look at the new M5, the M5 competition, it's slightly been updated, but nothing revolutionary. Whereas Audi and Mercedes actually go completely the opposite and screw over all of their customers because within a split second, they've brought out such a different interior that what you're currently driving, I think what I'm going to have a big shock when I get in that C63 is how dated it feels inside. What would you go for?
As a daily?
As a daily.
For you?
Yeah, let's say you had your Speciale and you needed a daily and those were your options.
Budget come into it? No.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, of course budget comes into it. Yeah.
Okay,
We're not all as rich as you.
Okay, so... Stop saying that. So...
You're the one that says it.
No, I don't say it.
Not anymore.
No, they all say it, and I just agree.
Okay.
Let's not talk about that.
Yeah.
God's sake. The best car, from what you've just said, taking everything...
the GoPro's gone.
Oh dear. Taking everything into consideration is the Golf R.
Okay.
Personally.
Okay.
Your GoPro's gone.
That's good to know. Somewhere my GoPro has fallen off the car, so we are going to go and find it. Electric seats on this one.
Yeah. Good spec, this car.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And you were saying that this is what, a 64 plate, late 2014 car,
So
right at the end of the production line then?
This is right before the new shape, before the turbocharged car,
So this is a piece of history.
This will be the best sounding car.
Of course.
Without a doubt.
Yeah. Come on then, M2 versus C63. Now there's a price difference again with these two cars.
Yeah.
This being slightly older, I would like to say will have a slightly stronger residual. In comparison to the M2.
I don't know about stronger residual, I just think it's probably lost a big chunk of its money now. Oh yeah.
Oh, there's your traction!
Yeah.
That's like 10% throttle.
No, it's just, that's what these are renowned for.
Yeah, they are just an animal and like... It's just a cool car, but do you think that this is a little bit too close to what the Mercy provides me in terms of a big engine, raw driving experience, very expensive to refuel?
The problem with this car is you've already had one, mate. You had the newer model. So
yeah, but that doesn't mean that I can't have this one.
Well, it doesn't mean that, but then it would be a bit of a step back for you, wouldn't it?
Do you think?
Yeah, for sure.
On paper, yeah.
Yeah, the new models.
On paper.
A better car, isn't it?
Yeah, but I still think that this is cool.
This is cool.
In its own right.
Yeah.
I just think going head to head against the M2, the reason why I wanted to put this next to the M2 because it's old versus new. Price points are quite different, so whilst this might not be my number one choice against the M2, maybe the monthly payments could tempt me in because it's a little bit cheaper than the M2.
Yeah.
Right, back to Tim Marlowe, Magnitude Finance, hook us up. How much cheaper do you think this is going to be a month?
I reckon the M2 will be cheaper.
Per month?
Per month than this car, even though it's a more expensive car.
Wow. Okay, maybe you know something that I don't. We will see.
Well, I do know something you don't.
Shut up!
I know a lot of things.
Tim, help me, Tim! Get me out of the car with this guy! We've got a bit of a head-to-head bet going on here.
Oh.
Because the price difference on the C63 and being an older car, I think it's going to be cheaper. But this man over here believes that he is an expert. This is actually the finance expert, so he's going to tell us the actual difference.
But I know as much as him. This is my job as well.
Nah, I reckon Tim knows more than you. And he's got.
You're too busy on track days all the time.
How dare you? He does more Instagram stories than he does sell cars. Right, come on.
Go on then. What's the bet?
I said there was going to be. I said what, £100? I started with £150 to begin with, but
you thought the M2 was going to be more.
I thought, I think the M2 is going to be more expensive because the C63 is 28 grand, the M2's 35.
No, two-year difference as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I said the other way around because the M2's a newer car, so the balloon payment will be a lot more.
So within £10 a month.
Really?
Which way? M2 cheaper.
Which was the bet?
Yeah.
Yeah, here you go.
Thank you.
So we've got the M2 under the magical £400 a month.
So the M2 is under £400. So
£398, balloon at the back end, so a guaranteed residual again. Same parameters we've done on all the other ones. 19,500.
I was going to say is
that's on the 19,500.
That's a high balloon.
No, it's not. It's fair. That's right.
But yeah, remember it's a 2016 car.
Yeah, 66 plate, isn't it?
Okay, so what? The C63 is more expensive.
So the C63, 410.
But that won't have a big balloon. That'll have a 10 or 15 grand balloon, will it?
Just under 12.
Yeah.
Just under 12. Yeah.
Wow.
I think it's worth highlighting here that the lender we use a lot of our PCP with is actually owned by BMW as well.
That's Alfira.
Okay.
So Alfira will put stronger.
So we did that with the M4.
Yeah, they understand that model, and they're going to give it a bit more because they expect it to hold its value.
So wait, let's actually now combine the other two cars that we drove, because the M2, being a more expensive car at 35 grand, is cheaper than the 31 grand RS3.
And a fraction of the mileage.
Yeah, because it's newer and less mileage, that's why.
But then that goes back to what I was saying about someone that might be looking at like a 25 grand Golf R. Actually, for what, £10 more, you can get an M2 that's 10 grand more.
And newer, less cost.
And newer.
Yeah.
What? That is eye-opening, I think. Eye-opening. I'm amazed that the M2 is as cheap as it is. Yeah. I'm going to offer you £24,000 for that M2.
Okay, goodbye.
Which M2?
Right, guys, that is it. That is another episode done at Gravelwood Cars. Tony, Tim.
Oh, yeah.
That was dreadful.
Really
We've got to look at the elbow. There we go. And there we go. 4 cars, 2 episodes, 1 winner, M2. On finance monthly payments and on the fact that it was the best car.
Get the invoice pad out, Tony. I'll get the finance docs out. You can drive it today.
Let's not let him out before he does it.
Right, guys, looks like I'm here for a while, so I will see you guys very soon. Take care. Please subscribe and give this video a thumbs up if you haven't already, and goodbye.
Cheers, guys.